I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another night of iRacing action here on the National Racing Network, where tonight it'll be the stars and cars of the Sim Speed Shop Premier Series coming to a conclusion. Their 2023 summer season with an 88-lap feature here at the Michigan International Raceway. My name is Chris Graham, joined in the booth, as always, by Mr. Patrick Bird. Thank you much to Connor Baldwin for putting the cameras together for us. And I'll tell you what, Bizzle, Michigan, a place that is big, wide, fast, just everything you want to see in a racetrack for these Cup cars.
Yeah, this pretty much one of the best tracks in the country for super speedway style racing. No restrictor plates, which means they get to go even faster than they do at some of the plate tracks. I think top speed we've seen here in a Cup car was 211, 212 miles an hour, which is just unbelievable, frankly.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those that you're not screwing around when you're hauling the mail off into turn number one, as we are down to the final 30 seconds of practice. Kevin Dick, your summer series champion. He's claimed 2 of 3 so far this season. He is at the top of the charts with a best lap time of 38.693 seconds. Some of these lap times are going to be draft dated, though, from practice. We can't totally put too much stock in them in terms of qualifying results. But we mentioned Kevin Dick is your champion, entering the night with an 86-point lead. May have even clinched 1 week ago, quite frankly. But Tyler Seville putting up a good run here into second place in points. He's got a lot to race for, though. Teammate Johnny Avila only 1 point back. That is basically whoever finishes ahead of who, sort of, is going to claim second in points here and some of the prizes that go along with it. With that, practice has come to a conclusion. It is time for qualifying to get underway. Let's pick up the number 45 of Andrew Mraz. He will be one of the first cars to come across with a lap here in qualifications. Qualifying session is 10 minutes in length. Mraz out of East Lansing, Michigan for Riot Motorsports. Sim Coaches, Superior Templating, and Riot Motorsports Customs on the side of his entry. He'll come down over the line to tick lap number 1 up onto the board, and he will be the first car that we will see get onto the clocks. Anthony Handley in the 88 following shortly behind. Handley, another of the Riot Motorsports cars out of Albany, Georgia, piloting a Chevrolet with Sim Coaches, Superior Templating, and Riot Motorsports Customs on the side. Taking a look at the weather conditions here. Well, let's see. Let's turn off the metrics so we can comprehend them here in America. 79-degree ambient temperature, 121-degree track temperature. Partly cloudy skies. Winds are going to be fairly calm. This place is going to be hot and slippery. Lap number 1 on the board for Anthony Handley's going to be quick time at a 39.203, 39.333 for Andrew Mraz. Richard Smith, Tom Wilhite now up on the board as well. They'll put themselves into positions 3 and 4.
This track, one of the most difficult to qualify at, too, because you were so far on the buzzer flying around this place. This track also tends to be a very pushy racetrack. Don't see a lot of cars getting way sideways, so very easy to go a little bit too deep into the corner and find yourself sliding up and hitting the wall coming out of turn 2 or turn 4.
Lap number 2 for Andrew Mraz goes quick time 39.102, 39.102. Braden Carroll going to be the next car to come across the start-finish line in the number 24. Carroll's going to move himself to the top of the boards, 39.075. Can we get anybody down into the 38-second bracket? Tyler Seville letting it all hang out off of turn number 4. Kevin Dick, new quick time, 38.937. 38.937. That was a heater for Kevin Dick. Tyler Seville only going to be good for 5th quick, 39.144 seconds. Pick up the 59 of Jim Thorndike making his way around on lap number 2 as Richard Fletcher slots up into position number 8. Thorndike coming around to complete his second lap. That Simcoach is number 59, going to move up into position number 8, 39.189 seconds. The 29 of Will Worsler coming around to complete his qualification run. He is going to be second quick, 39.016, only 8 1,000ths separating our top 2. Excuse me, 80,000th, 800th, you know. Math, numbers hard. John Moeller down the back straightaway on lap number 2. In the blue clover, number 83 for the Elgin, South Carolina native. Little bit high through 3 and 4. See what Moeller's going to be able to do here on lap number 2, all the way down onto the apron. His second lap will score 13th quick at a 39.540. The Woodfather, number 28, Troy Haight, making his way off into turn number 3 on lap number 1 of his qualification run. See what the lap time's going to be for that Chevrolet, and it will be 12th quick at a 39.337. Again, a little bit off the bottom of the racetrack. Sometimes that could be a little bit quicker way around, though. Less steering input, carry more momentum. It's not always a penalty.
Yeah, it's the big thing. I do something very similar when I run here at Michigan, but when I qualify at Daytona, it's especially apparent. When I come off of turn 2, I'm not sticking to that yellow line. You got to bring it up at least half a lane, if not a full lane up. Otherwise, you scrub off a mile an hour.
Troy Haight jumps up to 3rd quick, 39.034. Now 3 cars all within a tenth of a second at the front of the field. Let's pick up the 2 of Michael Larch getting himself out onto the racetrack. Also on the speedway now, the 33 of Dean Gagliano. Matthew Kopp, Douglas Visacki, Jeff Yenish, and Johnny Avila have not yet started qualification laps. Yenish now getting out onto the speedway. Still 4 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the qualifying session. Large saw the green flag last time by, so this will be his first of 2 timed laps against the clock with 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Lap number 1 for Larch is completed, and it will be good enough for 15th quick at a 39.641. 39.64 with a 1 for the 2 of Mike Larch. All Chevrolet Camaros inside the top 7. The first Mustang that we see actually looks like it's going to be Richard Fletcher back in the 11th position. Only 2 Camrys inside the top 10 belong to Tyler Seville and Richard Smith II. Lap number 2 now going up on the board for Larch is Gagliano, timed in 17th quick. Larch goes second quick, 38.942, only 5/1000ths of a second off of pole time. Oh, buddy, that was a blistering lap from Mike Larch. Jeff Yenish on pit lane, Johnny Avila. In the Zeem Speed Shop, TeamZSS.com, number 63. He's working lap number, well, the warm-up lap. He's coming around to take the green flag on lap number 1. Jeff Yanish does not score his second lap contact with the wall, negating the lap. He will start no better than 20th tonight. Of note, the 14 of A.J. Digby will have an EOL penalty to start this race. Digby currently lined up in position number 18, about 0.3 of a second off of the pole time. Avila through turns 3 and 4. See what lap number 1 is going to look like. Can he outpace the guy he's trying to pass in points? Tyler Seville was 9th quick. Lap number 1 for Avila, only good for 17th quick, 39.610. But here you see him now working, well, I'd say a little bit down the racetrack, more kind of the middle part of the racetrack as he comes off of turn number 2. Right up against that outside wall. Sails it off into turn 3. Really running down the bottom part of the racetrack this time. A little bit of a bobble there, possibly through the mid-corner. Then the hard left-hand turn to get that thing down onto the apron. Shorten the course up as much as you can. Lap number 2 for Avila. Third quick, 39.014 as we are down to 40 seconds remaining in the qualifying session. And, well, if you're not on the clock, you're not getting a lap time set here because in the 38-second bracket or so, just not going to have time to get the lap in. So the new champ, Kevin Dick, will claim the top spot here this evening. Getting the word from race control that stage breaks tonight will be at lap 20 and lap 50. No caution flag at stage number 1, and there will be a caution flag at stage number 2. And Bizzle, that's going to be interesting here because we're hearing 47 laps or so if you're out front, 50-ish if you're in the pack and doing some fuel saving. It might be tight to get this thing all the way to the end of stage 2.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of fuel saving, maybe a lucky caution, somebody gets loose or smacks the outside wall, and that will put you in your window, but can't be out there hoping for a caution, or Murphy's Law says you will be the caution.
That is exactly right, as we have cars starting to head out on to the starting grid, so let's get ready here to show you tonight's starting grid. Starting on the pole for this one will be your now 2-time Sim Racers Club SimSpeedShop.com Premier Series champion Kevin Dick in the custom paints and diecast number 52 out of the Great White North, the Canadian driver with a lap time of 38.937. Lining up to his outside will be the number 2 Ford Mustang, the Cleveland Wrap entry, the number 2 belonging to Mike Larch. Row number 2 will have the 63 of Toronto, Ontario, Canada's Johnny Avila in the TeamZSS.com Zeem Speed Shop, number 63 for Will Worsler Racing. Lining up alongside out of New Johnsonville, Tennessee, the Bulldog Roof Works, number 29 Chevrolet Camaro of the team boss over there at Will Worsler Racing, Will Worsler. Row number 3, the Woodfather, number 28 Chevrolet Camaro belonging to Troy Haight. Lining up alongside of the Zeem Speed Shop, TeamZSS.com, number 24 of Braden Carroll out of Layton, Utah. Row number 4, the 45 of East Lansing, Michigan's Andrew Mraz, driving for Riot Motorsports. Sim Coaches, Superior Templating, and Riot Motorsports Customs on the side of his 45 entry. Lining up to his outside will be the number 8 of Justin Rideout, the JW Racing Chevrolet Camaro. Row number 5 will have the 7 Hunter Waters out of Newburgh, Indiana for Will Worsler Racing, Hunter's Fried Pickles, and Law Chevrolet on the Chevrolet Camaro. Lining up alongside of the teammate, Tyler Seville out of the great state of West Virginia, driving for Will Worsler Racing, Chubby's and Hunter's Fried Pickles. Whole lot of fried pickle there on row number 5. Row 6 will have the 23 of Richard Smith II out of Harmony, Ontario, Canada for Showtime Racing. Lining up alongside the 59 Sim Coaches Chevrolet Camaro of Jim Thorndike. Row 7, the 33 of Dean Gagliano and the 43 of Richard Fletcher. Row number 8, the Sim Coaches 88 of Anthony Hanley and the P1 Battery number 19 of Tom Wilhite. That's a good looking paint scheme there on Tom Wilhite's machine this week. John Moeller and Quentin Clark will occupy row number 9 here this evening. Row 10 will be Will Worsler Racing, A.J. Digby, and Pie-Eyed Racing's Andrew Moore Jr. in the 77. Row number 11, Jeff Yedish and the Rayos Homemade, number 89, alongside of the Ellie's Place, 34 of Douglas Visaki, and all alone out back will be the 6 of Matthew Kopp. Field making their way off of turn number 4 and down into the start zone. Green flag goes in the air. We are underway here at Michigan. Off at turn 4, first time by. Oh, we've got a caution. First yellow flag of the race is going to come on lap 1. We've got contact off of turn number 4. Let's take a look here. Possibly an issue for Jim Thorndike. Thorndike way up to the outside of the racetrack in 3 and 4. Oh, and Braden Carroll starts to go around. Thorndike gets pinched up into the wall. Big trouble for Braden Carroll. And unfortunately, Jim Thorndike with absolutely nowhere to go. We've talked about this one in the past, Bizzle. Man, it feels like this is one of those deals where Braden Carroll is either going to be really fast and there the entire race or just out to lunch.
Yeah. Almost like they're trying to pull away and burn the stuff off the tires like they do every week. And some weeks it works out for them, and some weeks they just get eaten right up. Braden Carroll is the guy I'm seeing back there in 6th. Usually he's up there running away from these guys, so maybe he's calmed it down and might see him be a player later on in the race. He's not that far back, only in 6th. But.
No, but I wonder if there's going to be a penalty there for cause of caution. If you claim the caution, you can elect to head to the back of the field. Take the penalty now. Nothing carries over to next season. I'm pretty sure that was Braden Carroll that we saw. Let's see. Let's take a look at the replay again.
Thorndike checks out.
No,
goes
actually,
high.
no. It was the 43 of Richard Fletcher that bounced off the wall. Sorry, Braden. Fletch having the early issue, bounces the car off the wall. Getting my blue paint scheme cars screwed up. So there's the message from Race Control. The 43 will get an EOL penalty. So now as the field gets the 1-to-go signal, they will split off and get doubled up here for the restart. Kevin Dick, Johnny Avila on the front row, Troy Haight, and Andrew Mraz on row number 2. Row 3 will have Mike Larch and Braden Carroll. Row number 4 will be Troy Haight and... row 4 will be Justin Rideout and Will Worsler. Row number 5, Hunter Waters and Tyler Seville. A little bit surprised we didn't see anybody come down pit lane here. I guess the caution flag laps are going to help you get to the end of the stage.
I think with the caution laps, especially if they're saving fuel under this caution, should save them enough fuel to get to lap 50.
Cars that did come down pit lane that time include AJ Digby, Jeff Yenish, Douglas Visacki, Matthew Kopp, Andrew Moore Jr., Richard Fletcher, and Jim Thorndike. Fletch an 18.6 second stop, little bit 72 seconds for Jim Thorndike. Now pace car is in. We are going to get ready to roll. Green flag goes back in the air. We are underway once again. Good restart for Kevin Dick. It'll be a car length and a half advantage. Well, down the front straightaway. We'll see what Johnny Avila can do here into turn number 1. Side by side, battle back for the 3rd position. That's going to be Andrew Mraz and Troy Haight. Everybody getting single filed out here early except for Mraz. He's going to make the dive inside of Avila into turn number 3.
I think he's going to make it stick.
Yes,
Carroll's right up there too, up 4th.
Yeah, this is a place we might actually call the word slide job and mean it tonight. You can dive off into the corner, carry a ton of speed, and try to slide up in front of the guy ahead of you. Mraz with a new fastest lap of the race as Avila looks back inside through 1 and 2. Nothing happening that time. A little bit further back, that's going to be Troy Haight and Mike Larch battling. That's going to be the fight for the 5th position. Good battle there at the front, but good Lord. This pack of cars back here is already starting to get spicy. Quentin Clark and Richard Smith, the second side by side. Oh, almost some contact into Tyler Seville just a little bit further back. That battle's going to be 3 wide off at 2. Seville gets his car down to the inside. Everybody starts to settle it down a little bit. Seville inside of Jeff Yenish.
These guys, I'm surprised they haven't made contact here further back in the field. They seem to be really getting into it.
Well, they're also getting into it at the front. Andrew Mraz around Johnny Avila. Mike Larch sets a new fastest lap of the race out of the 5th position. It's really neat to watch how these guys fan out through the corners. You kind of get to run your preferred line, and then everybody settles back into the straight line down the straightaways.
Yeah, it's almost a testament to here at Richmond, at Michigan here, where there's so many different lines you could run the corners, where that top line, almost the Kyle Larson line, is just as fast as running down there against the white line.
Yeah, it's just as fast, and the problem that creates is you're not really gaining anything, but you're going the long way around. So you're adding distance to your lap without making up anything time-wise. Let's take a look. Let's head a little bit further back in the pack here and pick up Richard Smith the second and Hunter Waters. That's the fight for the 9th position. Smith able to come around Waters cleanly. A little bit further back, John Moeller, Anthony Hanley continuing their side-by-side duel. Tyler Seville hanging out there towards the back too. Tyler Seville is not a name that you normally see towards the mid to back of the pack here in these races. I gotta think he's doing a bunch of saving, both fuel and tires.
Yeah, it's almost like he's got AJ Digby in here. Oh, man, it's John Muller's going around.
John Moeller goes around. Caution is out for the second time tonight.
Oh man, that was close.
Oh, buddy, hold the brakes, sir. And, oh, man, we got stuff going on all over the place here because we've also got a pass for the lead. Johnny Avila coming around Kevin Dick, and Andrew Mraz coming around Kevin Dick for that matter, as they get back to the start-finish line, and we are under caution for the second time here this evening.
Well, one thing's for sure, now they can definitely make it to lap 50.
That's true. Let's take a look here at the NRN instant replay. See what happened. Maybe a little bit of contact from the 88. Looked like Tom Wilhite got a piece of that as well. Nowhere really for Wilhite to go. So now Johnny Avila out front here. And, well, Bizzle, this is only going to help those guys looking to fuel save a little bit to make it to the end of the stage. I still don't see the iRacing safety truck anywhere. The longer it takes these cars, there it is, getting the rest of the field packed up here. And here we go. Oh, thought we were maybe going to get some pit stops. We will. We're going to get one. Troy Haight coming down pit lane.
Well, just remember, Johnny Avila probably didn't have a chance to come down in pit lane because you won't get the pits are open until the pace car is in front of the leader.
Correct. The pace car had picked up the rest of the field. Johnny Avila not going to be able to pit. He's not going to get the pit open signal the way everybody else did there. Hearing from race control, a shared caution for the 83 and 88, no EOLs will be issued on this one. Not totally sure that I agree with that call, but race control spends a lot more time looking at this in slow-mo than we do. So
yeah, well, we're over here watching it. We'll watch it maybe once or twice. Race control will watch it frame by frame by frame, look at steering inputs of both drivers, listen to the throttle and brake inputs, and really try and figure out who did what there.
Yes, and that's probably the biggest thing. Is one of the things that I love about the Sim Racers Club and how they run these races. They don't screw around with things like race control and league administration. The penalty system encourages you to run hard, but run cleanly. I mean, just everything about it is, quite frankly, the way a league should be run. Sam and the Jordans just do a really great job of that week in and week out. Another league that will have live race control this year coming back. The TNT Shock Series going to debut on the National Racing Network. Well, not debut, but return here in just a couple of weeks' time. Kicking off on Tuesday, September 12th. Indy Pro 2000s, almost entirely an oval-based schedule. Coming up from the Iowa Speedway. Bizzle, I'm not sure we're going to know what to do with ourselves. We have nothing on the air next week.
Well, we could do a week-long run of my Bizzle's Bratwurst series where we run Skippies dressed up like sausages at Road America because it has Bratwurst billboards. It took me about 15 seconds just now to think of this idea. It does need a little bit of work, but we could have a council discuss it further.
Yeah, I think we might just enjoy the week off, quite frankly. But yeah,
that sounds like a plan.
It's week 13, and all the week 13 ridiculousness that will be coming out. We're looking forward to that. Silver Crowns will be back for 2023 Season 4 TNT Shock Series, basically going to run to the end of the year. We'll be back with the Sim Racers Club. Very excited for that, for their fall season. And I think Indy Pros will be returning for the SOF races on Thursday nights as well, as field is back into the restart zone under the control of Johnny Avila. Green flag goes in the air. We're underway once again. Kevin Dick gets a nice run that time. Braden Carroll doing a little side drafting off of Michael Larch down towards turn number 1. Mraz and Dick still going to be side by side this time off at turn number 2. Lap 15 of 88 is on the board. We're going to be down to 5 laps to go in stage number 1 this next time by. Nothing really to fight for here for Kevin Dick. Johnny Avila, that's a different story. This could be a, 8-9 point swing in the battle for second in points with Tyler Seville.
Yeah, I mean, the battle for the championship lead is locked up, but there's still a fight going on for second place, and third for that matter.
Yes, several championship battles. Tyler Seville, as we mentioned in the opener, up by 1 point over Johnny Avila. Hunter Waters, 18 up over Mike Larch. That could change hands tonight with the number of stage points that are on offer. Quentin Clark only 7 points back of Mike Larch. Andrew Moore Jr., 15 back of Larch. Or excuse me, of Quentin Clark. So still a lot of positions up for grabs here inside the top 10 in points as Kevin Dick back up onto the back bumper of Johnny Avila, but here comes Braden Carroll looking inside. Mraz going to slide back to the 4th position. 5th now going to be Quentin Clark. Mraz looks back inside of Carroll into 3 as Kevin Dick's going to look inside of Johnny Avila for the race lead. He's got to pull back out. Oh, is Braden Carroll in the wall? It was close if he wasn't.
Turn number 1.
How about Quentin Clark with that big dive off into turn number 1? And they all managed to get themselves sorted out as they exit the corner. These gaps are tight when they're getting off the corner like this. Carroll and Larch all the way down to the inside. Up top, it's going to be Dick and Carroll. Hunter Waters and, let's see, that's Richard Smith, the second up there in that fight. As Mraz looks inside of Avila for the race lead. Fights all over the front half of the field here as we're going to come down to 1 to go in stage number 1. Drag race to the line, and It's going to be Avila that time. 1 to go in stage number 1, and the 10 bonus points that are on offer. Mraz gets a nice deep entry into the corner. Avila tries the side draft. Looks like it worked, and he's going to get a great shove from Kevin Dick down the back straightaway. Quentin Clark going to be there as well. Mraz going to fall to at least 4th, maybe 5th. We'll see as Braden Carroll comes around. Off at turn number 4, green and white checkered flag will go in the air as Quentin Clark bounces it off the wall. Johnny Avila claims the win in stage number 1. No caution flag this time, though. That's not coming until lap number 50.
They're side by side now coming out of turn number 2.
I'll tell you what, that looked like a bit of a wiggle there for Kevin Dick. Exiting the corner, but whole lot of speed down the back straightaway. He did that pass without any drafting help whatsoever. Put Kevin Dick back to the top of the board. Before we get too deep into this, got to make sure we do the big thank yous for all of the sponsors helping make these races happen. Realty Executive Saskatoon, sponsor of the most laps led, hard charger, and most positions lost prizes. Wow, that was big back in the pack. Pick up Andrew Moore Jr., Troy Haight, Justin Rideout. Good Lord, that was almost a mess off of turn number 2. Big thank you to Northland Leisure Products as well, the sponsor of the stage breaks. Custom Paints and Diecasts, a seasonal and Grand Champion prize sponsor. And SimSpeed Shop, our series entitlement sponsor with seasonal champion and safe driver drawing prizes and Grand Championship prizes for the top 2. How about Jeff Yenish making his way to the front? He's trying to lay claim to the hard charger cash early on here. He's up 16 positions to run inside the top 5 and a 4-car dogfight for the race lead at the front. Oh, hold on to it, Justin Rideout. Great save off of turn number 2.
Andrew Mraz still going for it on Kevin Dick. He finally gets the spot, but is Dick going to cross him over out of turn number 2?
And I'll tell you what, all the fighting that these guys have done at the front has taken it from a 4-car battle. We can go all the way back to Will Worsler in the 11th position, all in this top draft.
Field has kind of calmed down a little bit. I say that, and they're starting to fan out a little bit further back in the pack between Worsler and Hunter Waters. But now at the front, they're 2 wide, 2 rows back.
Yeah, it's basically the entire field is battling like cats and dogs here. Mraz going to claim the race lead. That time by the start-finish line, pick up his 2nd lap lead of the race. Kevin Dick has led the most to this point at 14.
Johnny Avila getting a little bit squirrely. Braden Carroll now taking a dive at the lead. He gets a little bit squirrely off of 4. He's going to run side by side with Andrew Mraz. Mraz with the advantage in the turn number 3. Carroll still there on the inside, and Avila's going to try and follow him through. All 3 of those guys running 3 very different lines.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing to me. I mean, I hate to harp on stuff, but if you're trying to save tires, if you're trying to save fuel, your driving style is going to kind of dictate what line you run. Except we're seeing almost every car in the field taking a different line through the corners each time. It's almost like you're doing just enough to get some air on that front wing splitter, and that's what you're using to get you through the corner. And you're able to save more tire that way just by finding a tiny bit of clean air.
Yeah, just kind of peeking the nose out just to get a little bit of air either on the left front or the right front, just to kind of suck those front tires back to the ground.
I'll tell you what, that was a moment mid-corner for Andrew Mraz. Mike Larch got to have the look down to the inside. Kevin Dick absolutely riding the bumper of Johnny Avila down the front straightaway. Those cars are in 6 different lanes through the corners across multiple rows. 3 wide at the exit, going to be Mraz up on top. Now they get single file. Braden Carroll holding the race lead by half a second over Johnny Avila. And now it'll be 20 laps to go here in stage number 2. Kevin Dick having a look inside of Mike Larch. Thinking about making the move on Mraz here at the midpoint of the corner. He's going to stick the nose in.
Surprised these 2 in the front aren't fighting harder. They're playing very nicely.
What a save. Quentin Clark off at 2. Oh, they're not going to go 4 wide into 3. I think Tyler Seville backed out of it a little bit there on corner entry. Large gets a little bit tight at the mid-corner. Forces Mraz up the racetrack. Quentin Clark was just sideways wrecking loose off of turn 2. Now he's making passes on Tyler Seville and Andrew Mraz as Johnny Avila comes back around Braden Carroll. Oh, there's almost contact there. They say 8 tires are better than 4 to help you slow down. Tyler Seville putting that theory to good use in turn 1 on Andrew Mraz. Now Hunter Waters having a look inside of Quentin Clark. Jeff Yenish still the hard charger of the race. Hunter Waters may have to wreck a teammate if he wants to claim that award.
Hunter Waters, I think, is one of the drivers on WWR that's going to try not to wreck a teammate. They're all going to try not to, but out of the most or least likely for it to happen to, Hunter Waters is one of those guys that's least likely to make it happen.
Man, this reminds me of the super late models I was watching last weekend, shooting for Pit Road TV out in Benton, Missouri. Good Lord. Sometimes you get to work a real life event into these things, and pretty cool when we get to see some of that stuff. But Waters still inside of Quentin Clark. Cody Brooks with a big old monster super chat here. Thank you very much, brother. I'm donating to the Bisla Bratwurst Fund. As long as it's a cooking show where a cook vividly describes the process of taking care of his meat from beginning to end, tell me I'm a bad cook. Yes. We were just discussing the amount of bratwurst that Bizzle has in his freezer.
It's a comical amount. If anyone wants some bratwurst, like, come on over to my house.
Shoot us a message in the DMs if you need some bratwurst. Bizzle might send you some.
I have enough bratwurst to feed all the hungry children in Bechtelsville.
How about Mike Large, Tyler Seville? That was a little bit of roadside romance on corner entry there from Large, sliding Seville up the hill in 3. Good Lord, what a fantastic battle here. This all going on about a second and a half back of the race leaders. There you see your top 3 all nose to tails. They're taking evasive action around, gosh, who was that? Might have been Richard Smith II. They got way loose off of turn 2. Here's Andrew Mraz on pit lane. First stops for the race leaders. Pick up Andrew Mraz as the 45 makes his way down pit lane. Crew doing the work on the right sides. Now they're going to head around to the left. This will be a 4-tire change at about lap number 40. We're kind of in that window here, Bizzle, where if you want to make this a true 2-stop race, kind of about where you would do it, although looks like a penalty for Andrew Mraz, upwards of 25 seconds on pit lane.
Only going to be 10 laps to go to the stage, and Kevin Dick's right back up there with these top 2, ready to spice it up a little bit.
Oh, Andrew Mraz finally off of pit lane. Take a look. See how long the stop was for Andrew Mraz. 55 seconds. So that will be a pit road speeding penalty. Speeding on entry. Sliding back a little bit here, picking up the second pack of cars as Andrew Mraz has slided right back in between our 2 groups of leaders. Hunter Waters, Jeff Yenish, and Tyler Seville, Will Wursler there as well. Sorry, that was Mike Large and Quentin Clark. Too many, like, similar looking paint schemes. I could just get good at my job, though, too.
Well, you can tell all the guys to quit running different shades of blue.
Yes, and orange. Oh my goodness, this battle at the front. Now getting caught up in some lap traffic. Braden Carroll around the race leader. They get around Richard Fletcher.
Kevin Dick all over the rear bumper of Braden Carroll. I saw him peaking high, peaking low, just finding anywhere he can get by him. As Johnny Vila now is going to try and take the fight to Kevin Dick.
Dick's going to look inside of Carroll off at 2. Looks like Avila doesn't know where to go. He gets a great run. He's going to make it 3 wide for the lead down into turn 3.
This ain't going to end well. Maybe.
It ends spectacularly. Johnny Avila goes around 2. Oh, and caution is out. Yellow flag on the speedway. Looks like trouble for Richard Smith II. Let's see if we can take a look and find what happened to the 23 machine. And this likely will be the end of the stage. Oh, man.
Great save, though.
Great
Perfect
save.
360. Didn't tear up the splitter too bad on the grass.
Now, slides it back out onto the racetrack. Well done. That's how you get after it right there. Now, with 44 laps on the board, I don't think we're going to get to the end of the stage, but we could see a shakeup here. See if anybody decides to... Yeah, there you go. Oh, Jeff Yenish is going to come down pit lane. Just about everybody from like 6th place Jeff Yenish on back looks like they're going to come down pit lane. I think it's a smart call here, Bizzle. Make your pit stop now. You're going to have enough fuel to get to the end of the race. And you're going to restart ahead of everybody else that comes down pit lane at the end of the stage.
Yeah, unless you're one of the leaders fighting for those championship points since it's the last race of the season, there's no disadvantage to pitting right now.
So they'll come around to, they should see the 1-to-go signal this next time by and make it, what, a 4-lap run to the end of the stage? Yeah, it'll be a 4-lap shootout to the end of stage number 1. Jeff Yenish, the first car off of pit lane. He's going to be followed by Quentin Clark. A.J. Digby up to the 10th position. Will Worsler, Justin Rideout. So let's see, who's going to choose which lane here? Johnny Avila takes the top side. He will restart on the outside of the front row as the control car. Kevin Dick will line up to his inside in the 2nd position. Row number 2 will have Tyler Seville and Braden Carroll, Mike Larch, and Hunter Waters on row number 4. Row 5, let's see, as they come around here. Row number 4 will be Jeff Yenish and Douglas Wysocki. Douglas, shoot me a message with how to pronounce your name right. Quentin Clark and, let's see, looks like possibly Will Worsler on row number 5 here for the restart. And Johnny Avila will be the control car here. Sometimes, Bizzle, you start on the outside, you can get yourself a little bit of an advantage on these restarts just by putting the 2nd place guy out of position where they're normally supposed to be. You get inside, you kind of brain fart a little bit, and all of a sudden you're getting a penalty for going too soon.
Yeah, the restart zones are definitely tough. I still have not mastered them. I was always really good at the old days when you had from when the pace car went into the green flag came out. Basically from here, soon as that pace car makes left turn, okay, you can stomp on the gas and go, or you can wait. Now with the restart box, I seem to be getting a penalty every time I'm on the front row, so I just can't seem to figure it out.
Well, there you go. You saw it right there out of Johnny Avila, able to skunk Kevin Dick at the start. Mike Larch going to have the look inside of Tyler Seville and Hunter Waters as they get to turn number 1. Waters, though, he's going to look outside of Kevin Dick. Man, these guys are twitchy off of turn 2.
Four wide through turn number 2.
Wow, Kevin Dick almost up into the outside safer barrier. He is going to drop like a rock.
With the move.
Yeah, Hunter Waters. Wow, I thought he was on pit lane. Jeff Yenish is going to be the highest running of the cars that were on pit lane. Oh my goodness, where did Quentin Clark come from?
This is a hornet's nest.
Still 2 to go in stage number 2. Oh, man, they're beating and banging doors off the corner. Right side rubbing, left side, left side loving, right side romance. All over the place. Again, 4 wide into 3. Oh, my goodness. This looks like
Kevin
a start
Dick
of an Indy 500.
Oh, or the US 500. Maybe not. They haven't wrecked yet.
Gosh, back to being 4 wide. Can we get iRacing to give us a 4 wide call, please, by the way?
I see smoke. I see cars starting all out of the way, but I haven't seen contact yet. Who's that all the way to the inside?
Good Lord. And Quentin Clark takes those new tires and just absolutely runs away with stage number 2. Oh my goodness. Clark picking up a stage win here tonight in the season finale at Michigan. Your top 3 cars all made pit stops under the last caution. That tells you how much new tires are going to be worth. So now this time by, we should see Johnny Avila on pit lane, Hunter Waters, Mike Larch, Braden Carroll, Tyler Seville, and Kevin Dick. Kevin Dick finishing 19th after his tires just absolutely went away. And I'll tell you what, these guys that are going to come down pit lane now, they're going to have a lot of work to do here. Although Justin Rideout coming down pit lane, that's a little bit of a surprise. Because Rideout was just in. I wouldn't think he would take tires here. He only has 7 laps on his. Yeah, Justin Rideout going to take tires. Interesting gamble here. Richard Smith II going to be the first car off of pit lane. Good race between Johnny Avila and Justin Rideout. Looks like Rideout going to be able to claim the spot. But Rideout has now used both sets of tires that he has available. If we get the late race caution, could be trouble for car number 8. But at least at this point now, he knows, stay out. I'm going to run every lap here to the finish of this thing.
Yeah, he's not going to have to come down pit road again. Just a matter of keeping those tires underneath them.
Yeah, I mean, we're past the halfway point. So as the field gets the 1-to-go signal, it'll be Quentin Clark restarting from the lead on the outside. Jeff Yenish will line up on the inside of row number 1. Row number 2 will have A.J. Digby and Anthony Handley. Row 3, Troy Haight and Andrew Moore Jr. Row number 4 looks like it will be Dean Gagliano and Will Worsler, Tom Wilhite and John Moeller on the 5th row for the restart. So now we'll be down to 34 laps to go in the summer season for the Sim Racers Club SimSpeedShop.com Premier Series. Oh, wow. Slow restart that time. Bottles everybody up.
Johnny Avila with the huge attack on the restart. We saw this out of him last week, where he kind of figured out in that restart zone, as soon as the leader goes, you can punch it. You can pass on the inside, which is kind of a new rule here. I don't know if it's a rule in iRacing, but the guys in SRC, the rule makers here said it's fair game. So Johnny Avila making some huge moves on these restarts.
Well, we are right back under the caution flag, though, with 34 laps to go. Take a look at the instant replay. See what happened here. Trouble for Matthew Kopp. Also, Braden Carroll's going to be involved. We've got several cars piling in. Man, I almost want to take another look at that one. Oh, let's see. Let's back it up here. See what happened on the restart. Everybody got a little bit bottled up. Tom Wilhite just did not get going. But there's several.
That almost reminded me of Jimmy Johnson a couple years ago at Dover.
Yeah, that's a great point. You kind of just get accordioned. Dover is a place I would expect that, not necessarily here.
It almost looks like the start of that race they had here on Memorial Day weekend in '96.
Yes.
I don't know if anyone at home knows the race I'm talking about, but
easily the world's greatest commentator's curse by Bob Varsha on that one.
These are the greatest drivers in the world.
Fastest cars with the greatest drivers in the world, and there's a crash.
Haven't even taken the green, wrecked 15 cars out of the 33 that started. No, it wasn't even 33 that started. It was, what, 28 cars that started that race?
Yeah, I don't remember, but there was not many that were not in backup cars, and God, that was just a mess. Almost 2-hour delay to let everybody unload the backup cars and get them out on the racetrack.
Which gave everyone at home a chance to flip the channel over and watch the race going on in Indianapolis before the one in Michigan started.
Well, yeah, actually, they time delayed the one in Michigan. That wasn't supposed to start until like an hour plus into the Indy 500. The thought was you could still watch the pre-race, all the fun stuff that happens pre-race at Indy, and then turn into the US 500 and watch the actual race. Instead, you got to watch Buddy Lazier win a classic Indy 500, and then the race from Michigan was about to, like, I guess start back up again-ish. That was easily the dumpster fire era of racing for American open wheel.
Wait, we're not still in that era?
No, I wouldn't say so. Oh my goodness, no. This might be the best assembly of talent that IndyCar racing has ever seen. It rivals the late 80s, early 90s, when you still had guys like Foyt and John Cock and Sneva and Rutherford were still running, tail end of their careers. You had guys like Rick Mears in his absolute prime and ready to shockingly retire in 92. But then you had all the new younger talent that was coming in. Oh my goodness, that's such a great time period then. I think this one we have now is just as good. But field's doubled up, ready to go for the restart here it'll be 30 laps to go when they take the green flag. Front row will be Quentin Clark, your race leader on the outside. Jeff Yenish lined up to his inside. Row 2 will have A.J. Digby and Anthony Hanley. Troy Haight, Andrew Moore Jr. on row 3. Will Worsler, John Moeller on row 4. Dean Gagliano and Hunter Waters on row number 5. Row 6, Johnny Avila and Andrew Mraz. Justin Rideout, Mike Larch on row 7. Row number 8, Kevin Dick and Tyler Seville. Pace truck is in. They're now going to get down into the restart zone. Yes. Oh, man, again, great restart from Johnny Avila. He swings out wide. Down to the inside, going to make it 3 wide towards turn number 1. Tyler Seville, nowhere to go with him. Side-by-side battle for the 3rd position. Anthony Hanley, A.J. Digby going to continue their brawl. Tight for the race lead off at 2. 4 wide back in the mid-pack. Oh, my goodness. When do you catch your breath? Wow. Dean Gagliano with a big moment there entering turn 3. Andrew Mraz gives the big old bump draft to Kevin Dick down the front stretch. Doesn't do a whole lot of help. Oh, Mraz slides up. A little bit of right side romance on Will Worsler. They can't keep doing this for the next 29 laps.
They can sure as hell try.
Yeah, here comes Johnny Avila down inside of teammate A.J. Digby. Gets that pass completed on quarter entry. Now going to go to work on Andrew Moore Jr. Justin Rideout makes the big dive inside of Digby. Not quite close enough to pull off the slide job that time. Keely Ryan checking in with some love for John Moeller. Oh, and we've got caution flag out on the speedway again one more time. Looks like trouble for Richard Smith II. See what happened here to the 23. Oh, big hit, and he just gets turned. Nipsey-doo puncheroo down to the inside. Second time he's been landscaping here at Michigan tonight.
He's going to have to send the track promoter a bill.
Or cut the rest of the grass while he's at it.
Oh, he's no Tony Kanaan.
That's true. Although I don't know many people could try to be Tony Kanaan.
Who's the other IndyCar driver with a landscaping service? Sage Karam.
Yes, Sage Karam is actually a landscaper, though. And he's not even an IndyCar driver anymore. He is now a full-time stock car guy, according to a recent interview that he did. Feels all doors are closed on open wheel. So now he's going to try to make it work in stock car land.
Just remember, if you can't drive an Indy car, you can't drive a stock car. You can always go Prototype 3 racing.
Yes, that does require getting a dental degree, but there's trade-offs there.
Well, no, he'll just be the silver driver on the team.
Yes.
Even the least talented guy in the IndyCar grid has like 10 times the talent of a dentist.
Yeah, I could agree with that. He is a big wrestling guy, though. Like Olympic-style wrestling, freestyle wrestling and all. Actually, he coaches one of the high schools up in the Lehigh Valley. His father, Jody, was also a longtime wrestling coach. I believe it was at Liberty High School in Allentown, Pennsylvania. God, we are off in the weeds now.
I'm glad you clarified Allentown, Pennsylvania. Like anyone would think of any other Allentown. Which Allentown was Billy Joel singing about?
New York.
There's an Allentown in New York?
No. The Billy Joel song was actually about Levittown in New York. But Levittown...
Why would anyone sing a song about Levittown, New York?
Talking about closing all the factories down and all that kind of stuff. It was a song about Levittown, New York. But Levittown didn't come off the tongue the right way, so he changed it to Allentown. Which was just as bad in terms of losing big factory jobs and all, but...
I was going to say, I've driven through Levittown a million times. I don't remember any factories in Levittown, so they must have closed down since he wrote the song. As the field is getting ready to double up.
You are really on the ball tonight. Quentin Clark, your race leader, is plus 17 in the battle for the hard charger and isn't going to claim it, at least not yet. Jeff Yenish running second, up 19 positions after starting in 21st. Braden Carroll, unfortunately, the big position loser on the night here. He is down 16. Good thing this is not an official race. That would be a 104-point iRating drop for Braden Carroll. The data that we can get from these computers is sometimes kind of scary. So coming back for the restart again, hopefully it's the final one of the night. Quentin Clark and Jeff Yenish on the front row. Row number 2, Andrew Moore Jr. and Anthony Handley. Row 3, Johnny Avila and Kevin Dick. Mike Large, AJ Digby, row 4. Row 5, Justin Rideout and Hunter Waters. So the pace truck will make the big left-hand turn onto the pit lane, and field is under control. The race leader, Quentin Clark. See if Johnny Avila makes that big dive again to the inside. Yes, he does. Jeff Yenish tries to come down through the block. Avila's all the way onto the apron. 4 wide back in the pack. Oh, my goodness. Avila with a blue light special. He goes 2 for 1, puts himself up to second. Kevin Dick follows through on the outside, now into the third position. He's going to challenge Avila down the back straightaway. Oh, one car, that's Comp going sliding down to the inside. We stay under green. My goodness, the battle up front is good, but how about this one just back behind your top 5? Justin Rideout side by side with Hunter Waters. Oh, we've got caution one more time. Looks like trouble for possibly Justin Rideout. Little bit of contact. Rideout gets turned off the bumper of AJ Digby. Slides that car down through the grass. Take a look at that one more time here. Off at turn number 2. Tough break for Justin Rideout. Very similar to the incident we saw with Ryan Preece this weekend at Daytona.
Yep, just getting hooked and spun around out of nowhere.
Man, I'll tell you what, that was one of the most violent wrecks that I can remember seeing. Up there with Davey Allison and Darrell Waltrip's flips at Pocono. Rusty Wallace's in the 93 season, I guess it was, at Daytona and Talladega. Mike Larch, Andrew Moore Jr. making their way down pit lane, as is Braden Carroll. There's a couple of drivers electing to take tires. I kind of like that call here, Bizzle. You got 20 laps to go. And so long as we don't keep getting cautions, you could have maybe not significantly faster tires, but at least 15 to 25 lap fresher tires, which can always be a good thing.
Yeah, not only that, especially if you're a little bit further back in the pack, what do you have to lose? Worst case scenario, you pass enough cars to put you right back where you were.
Got a knock on wood or something. I said hopefully the last restart, and we've had 2 since then. Lap 69 is not so nice when you're working it under the caution flag, but Quentin Clark's got to be enjoying the view from out front here because he does have a little bit older tires than Kevin Dick and Johnny Avila. It's only 8 laps, which I don't think is a ton around here. We more saw the drop-off a little bit later in the run. That's at the end of stage 2. The guys that stopped before the end of the stage, you were talking a difference of 40-plus laps on tires.
Yeah, which is about as long as a lot of these drivers took it in the first stage. Or the first 2 stages, I guess, before the first stage break.
Correct. So right now you're only talking kind of what, either 17 or 25 lap difference on tires. The 25 lap difference could really make a difference. Andrew Mraz, who will restart from the 7th position, only has 6 laps on his tires. Handful of drivers a little bit further back also with only 6 laps on their tires. And then you get to the guys who stopped on this caution flag. Andrew Moore Jr., Mike Larch, they are going to be all the way at the back of that line, restarting in 17th and 18th positions. So once again, field back into the restart zone. Green flag goes in the air. Johnny Avila gets a good start, but not a great one that time on Quentin Clark. Clark going to lead the field by a car length and a half as they get to turn number 1. Avila and Dick side by side for position number 2. And the Hornets' nest starting to fire up again. Top 3 breaking away ever so slightly. Not the case. From 4th on back, Jeff Yenish has Anthony Hanley inside. They're 3 wide back behind him. Things starting to settle down, but how about Justin Rideout? A little bit further back here in the 13th position. As soon as we say things are settling down, my goodness.
They start getting wild almost immediately.
Battle for the race lead. Kevin Dick inside of Quentin Clark. As Andrew Mraz in 4th sets a new fastest lap of the race at a 38.8. Oh, Braden Carroll slides down to the inside of the racetrack. Caution flag is out with 16 to go. Big slide to the inside. Oh, wow.
Huge hit.
Big pancake of that race car on the inside safer barrier. That car is going to be pretty well used up. Yeah, you can see the left front tire not spinning. Body panels missing on that Team ZSS car. This is pretty much exactly what these race leaders wanted to see. Keep running under caution. Go ahead, guys. Keep wrecking yourselves back there. We'll have fresh-ish tires, I guess you could say. I mean, they are getting a little bit of heat cycling, but now are we going to see anybody come down and take tires? Everybody at the front of the field is going to come down and use up their second set of Goodyear Racing Eagles. Andrew Mraz stays out on the racetrack. Justin Rideout, Jim Thorndike, Troy Haight staying out, as does Andrew Moore Jr., Dean Gagliano.
This is going to spice things up then. That's quite a ton of cars.
Now
Kevin Dick, Johnny Avila, Will Borser, all those guys are going to have to try and start behind.
Yeah, we have 10 cars that stayed out. Mraz, Rideout, Thorndike, Haight, Moore, Gagliano, Larch, Fletcher, Vaisaki, and Kopp. Tyler Seville is checking in, I believe, possibly from pit road. Saying ridiculous racing. Seville on pit road. AJ Digby is on pit road. Both Seville and Digby being scored 2 laps behind the race leader. Upwards of 2 minutes on pit lane now. But this is definitely a field shakeup now. And the big thing here, Bizzle, is outside of Richard Fletcher, who has 23 laps on his tires, and Justin Rideout, who has 23 laps on his tires, everybody else is 12 laps or fewer on the set of tires that they're running.
So this is not going to be an easy bunch of cars to pass for those fast guys.
No, it's not. So for the restart, it'll be Andrew Mraz and Justin Rideout on the front row. Jim Thorndike, Andrew Moore Jr. on row 2. Row 3 will have Troy Haight and Dean Gagliano. Mike Larch, Richard Fletcher on row 4. Kevin Dick and Quentin Clark on row 5.
Surprised me that Johnny Avila took the outside with how dominant he's been with that kind of jump below the white line on the inside on the restarts, and he could pass probably 3-4 rows of these guys doing that.
I don't know that he has anybody to his inside, though. He may be able to just make a hard left-hand turn and go. Oh, these last handful of laps are going to be absolutely wild. What a way to close out the SimSpeedShop.com Premier Series summer season. They'll be back in action 2 weeks' time, September 13th, coming to you from the Charlotte Roval. But we've still got 24 more miles of racing to do here. Great start from Raz and Thorndike.
Johnny Avila
outside.
All the way to the top side. He passed, 28 cars up there on that restart?
It certainly feels like it. Oh, Richard Smith II bouncing the car off the outside wall. Now Avila's going to cross 3 lanes. He goes full Kyle Busch all the way down to the inside now, 3 wide into 3. Thorndike holds on.
Now just remember,
go ahead.
Even though Kevin Dick has won the summer championship, he hasn't won the full year-long championship just yet. So Johnny Avila still has stuff to fight for and still has a reason to try and get by and put as many cars in between him and Kevin Dick.
That is correct. We will do our best to get you an update on those points. I don't know that that's going to happen here tonight, but wow, Jim Thorndike really slides down to the inside. He's going to get passed by a handful of cars. Troy Haight, Mike Larch, Kevin Dick. Oh, Andrew Moore thought about making that 4 wide. Oh, this is crazy. 10 to go here at Michigan, and it's Andrew Mraz out front by half a second. Justin Rideout able to hold on to second thus far, but he's going to have a pile of race cars on fresh tires coming behind him. Now down to 9 laps to go. Moore thought about going all the way down to the apron to get around Mike Larch. He tucks back in line. Johnny Avila has to grab the binders a little bit into one. He's going to have Quentin Clark up underneath the back end of that 63 machine. Both of those cars have been very quick tonight. Oh, there's contact! Kevin Dick goes around. Hunter Waters goes around. Several cars go spinning down the back straightaway. Oh, tough break for Jim Thorndike. He's going to be involved in this one. So is Kevin Dick. There's the 42 with Quentin Clark. Oh, my goodness. Take a look at this one on the instant replay.
Johnny Avila gets way wide sideways on the high side. Bounces in the Kevin Dick. He bounces in. Oh, man, it's like playing ping pong out there.
Oh, Jim Thorndike tried to shoot the gap. Just missed it. We've got a moderately big one here at Michigan. Now, with 8 laps to go, I believe we'll see a green flag with about 5 to go here. And it looks like the 63 of Johnny Avila will be getting an EOL penalty as a result of that incident. So Johnny Avila will have to restart behind, well, basically everybody. We'll see who's going to be able to make their way out of the pits, but right now there's only 14 cars on the racetrack. Kevin Dick took pretty significant damage in that incident, as did Jim Thorndike, Dean Gagliano, Quentin Clark. All of these cars over 25 seconds of damage repair, so we could be down to just 14 cars for this restart, and every one of them will be on the lead lap. Kevin Dick able to get back out on the racetrack. 46-second pit stop for the 52 crew. Jordan Barry checking in. We win some, we lose some. We're normally very, very clean. Sucks, but we have to take some of the bad with the good. I'll tell you what, the race has been absolutely fantastic here tonight. A little heavy on the cautions. You know what? You're battling at the end of the season. We talked about this earlier, Bizzle. Every driver has their own individual battles that they're fighting. Whether it's internal teammate battles, battles for positions and points, guys trying to make up those year-long championship points. There's a lot going on in these final races of the season, and not really a surprise that we're going to have this many cautions with cars that are battling this hard.
Yeah, it's not just the fight for the top spot that we have to worry about. It's all of these guys are trying to get another spot. For some of the drivers, breaking into the top 5 at the end of the championship is a huge milestone for them. Some drivers, with the strength of field we have here, might be breaking into the top 10, and they might be so close that, hey, they're willing to make a little bit of contact, push their car 110%, and see if it sticks and try and get there.
Well, you talk about that. Andrew Mraz entered the night 12th in points and 29 points back of the top 10. This finish here could get him there. Mike Larch, who runs in the second position, 5th in points, 18 back of Hunter Waters. This could get Mike Larch up into the 4th position in points. There's like you said, there's a lot to race for here with just a handful of laps to go. And it will be 5 to go this time by at the restart. As the green flag goes back in the area, it's 19 cars on the racetrack and all of them on the lead lap. Oh man, Hunter Waters, Kevin Dick really battling hard at the entry into turn number 1. Mraz able to clear. We were a couple of rows, 3 across there. Richard Smith, Hunter Waters making a little bit of contact into 3. I also think the nature of this Gen 7 car to sort of self-correct a little bit is playing into this as well. You can make some contact and the car just kind of wants to straighten itself out most of the time.
Yeah, these things are pretty wild. You can get them about maybe 5-10 degrees maybe of slip, and that rear diffuser will basically suck the car back down and pull it straight. You get any more than that, though, and there's about a 6% chance you save the car. It's pretty much nothing. You get it more than just a little bit sideways, and you might as well call it quits.
Andrew Mraz holding off Mike Larch by 0.4 of a second. Another 0.4 back to Kevin Dick in 3rd. What a run on the restart for Kevin Dick. Larch sets a new fastest lap of the race out of position number 2 with 3 to go.
Oh man, they are snaking all up and down that back straightaway.
Yeah, trying to break the draft. I don't know that it's going to work. And if Mike Larch and Kevin Dick can get hooked up here, they could have a huge run on Andrew Mraz. But Kevin Dick's going to have the look to the inside. He'll make the pass before they get to turn 1. Kevin Dick, 38.7 for a new fastest lap of the race. Back behind them, they're 3 wide, and remember, we do have overtime. The gap sitting right about 0.4 of a second between Kevin Dick and Andrew Mraz. White flag is out, 1 lap to go here at Michigan. And it's starting to close in ever so slightly. This is going to take a huge run by Kevin Dick.
I'm not sure he's going to be close enough to do it. He is closing the gap very quickly, though. Going to take a monster run off of turn 4.
Yeah,
Andrew Mraz gets a little bit loose.
Off of turn number 4 for the final time. Checkered flag goes in the air. And Andrew Mraz closes out the summer season with a win at Michigan. Kevin Dick claims the championship and comes home 2nd. Mike Larch will round out your podium. What a show by the stars and cars of the Sim Racers Club here tonight. Mraz going to burn him down on the front straightaway. Well, now down into the infield, and, well, he may burn him down all the way to victory lane for all we know, but all the sim coaches guys getting out here on the front straightaway for the victory lane celebrations, and let's take a look and show you our race results. Mraz, Dick, Larch, Rideout, and Yenish, your top 5, followed home by Hunter Waters, Will Worsler, Andrew Moore Jr., Troy Haight, and Johnny Avila. 11 through, well, we're going to say 19. Vistaki, Smith, Handley, Kopp, Moeller, Fletcher, Thorndike, Gagliano, and Clark. Braden Carroll, the first car 1 lap down, and it's 14 laps down in the 20th position. Tyler Seville, AJ Digby, both finishing 16 laps down. And Tom Wilhite rounding out our field this evening, finishing 34 laps behind your race winner. What a show put on by the stars and cars of the Sim Racers Club. Well, let's bring up into the booth our 2023 Summer Series champion, Mr. Kevin Dick. And man, I'll tell you what, brother, once again, an absolutely just fantastic drive this entire season. Putting the car up on the podium once again, going out with, gosh, I'm going to guess almost 100-point advantage over second place. That is domination that we have not seen, I don't know, ever in this league.
Thanks. I don't know if I would say just domination. I think I just caught a lot of lucky breaks and was able to get, good solid finishes and collect all the stage points that I needed to. Johnny, I mean, when he was on it, he was on it. Like, we would have been good heads up, but I think just those stage points and that full day that he missed, it just put him behind the 8 ball, and then there's just no way for him to catch back up.
Yeah, he had a good season. Yours was better. We'll run the numbers quickly here. In 12 starts, 3 poles, I believe. 4 poles. I forget if you won the pole tonight, but 3 wins.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, so yeah, 4 poles, 3 wins, 10 top 5s, 12 top 10 finishes, piles of bonus points. I mean, I don't know what else to say other than just absolutely epic season. But let's shift things back here to the race tonight, because when we had that caution with 15 or so to go and about half the field came down pit lane, you had to be a little bit concerned that you saw how many cars were going to be ahead of you after that pit stop.
I did, and I was a little bit worried. I knew we had fresher tires in those guys, but I couldn't get anything going. I had no help. The draft is such a big part here. Like, I could get to their inside, but they would just, blow by me down the straightaway, so I couldn't put the tires to use that I needed them to.
Yeah, and I mean, the car was quick all night, obviously. Quick in practice, you won the pole. Talk us through a little bit of the early part of the race, because it seemed like you, Johnny, Braden, there was a handful of you guys that were able to be really quick and kind of distance yourselves out and then battle amongst yourselves.
Yeah, I mean, I did a decent run during practice, so I knew sort of what the car was going to do. So, to me, it went like loose. I don't know if I just ate the tires up a little bit too much in practice, so I tried to conserve them. So, I didn't necessarily want to be in the lead to start with. I mean, I was fine with letting them go and then just sort of letting them do their thing and just using the draft to keep up with them. So, yeah, the start I wasn't real worried about doing anything. Just stay up there and keep out of everyone else's way.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, great race tonight. Fantastic show you guys put on for us, as always. And before we let you go, make sure you do all the big sponsor plugs and thank yous here, too.
Yeah, give a shout out to Custom Paints and Diecast. Jordan there painting great looking cars and making great looking diecasts. Shout out to Sam and Jordan again for running this awesome league. Shout out to you guys up in the booth for putting on an awesome show for us to watch. And yeah.
All right, brother. Well, thank you much. We appreciate you coming to hang out. Congratulations once again on the championship. And now we're going to talk to our race winner, Andrew Mraz. Started in the 7th position. The car was really quick all night long, but at one point tonight, looked like you might not be in contention here at all after having to make an early trip onto pit lane. Talk us through the night a little bit, because it seemed like the strategy call worked out absolutely perfect for you.
I actually won this race at my home track, but anyway, the strategy call there when I had to pit with like 10 to go in the second stage or whatever, my right front was getting worn out and I couldn't turn left anymore. Just kept pushing way out to the wall, so I was pitting for tires, and I happened to speed entering pit road. So 40-second hold there, but got a caution with like after 6 laps on my tires or so, and still was 1 lap down. Another car got the wave around, and then the stage caution helped me out right there to put me back on the lead lap. But yeah, having the older tires definitely helped because I was able to be aggressive because they were warm and all that stuff, and it wouldn't be all as loose as the other cars were. So
well, and that was
a help race.
Kind of a similar thing with that caution with like 15 or so to go, because everybody pits in front of you. It has to be like, okay, I'll take this freebie, but then you still had to hold them off. I mean, ultimately it was a 25-lap stint on that final set of tires. It really was not just get out front and stay there. You really had to work for that one.
Oh yeah, definitely. I saw Kevin in the closing laps with like 2 to go. I saw that he passed, I think it was Michael. Yeah, Michael in P2. And I'm like, oh crap, here we go. Gonna fight tooth and nail for this win. Definitely a home track win, first win for Riot here at SRC, and just wanted to bring that trophy home for the boys.
Well, I tell you what, it was an impressive drive tonight, and let me see, taking a look here, it really helped your numbers in the points too. Can't confirm it, but I think this is going to put you inside the top 10 in points at the end of the season. That's got to feel pretty darn good. You guys are a newer team to this league, and to be able to come out, put up a good season, pick up a win here late, just piles of confidence heading into the fall season in a couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's finally getting the monkey off your back for their first win here in the league is phenomenal. Looking for more from my teammates, especially from Quentin, Jim, and Hanley. But I kind of want a little bit more from that too as well. So we want, hoping for a top 10 in points.
I'll tell you what, we're looking forward to seeing what you guys do in the fall season, because between the Will Worsler Racing guys, Kevin and Andrew on Pie-Eyed, now we've got a third team that's coming on board. I think you guys are going to put on a heck of a show here coming up for us in the fall. Andrew, congratulations on the win, and before we let you go, make sure you do all the big sponsor plugs and thank yous.
Yeah, thank you. I'd like to thank Sim Coaches, Lawrence, for believing in this team and being primary sponsor for our team over here at Riot. We also have Mueller's code for bowling apparel and all that stuff. You guys for broadcasting, Jordan and Sam for putting on this amazing league, and all the viewers out there. Just keep watching. Wait to see if anything happens.
All right, brother. Sounds good. Thank you very much for coming to hang out with us here up in the booth. And unfortunately, it looks like I don't think we're going to have Mike Larch to talk to tonight here, Bizzle. But man alive, a race that started a lot of kind of single file-ish. It got really hot in the second half of this thing, and these guys put on just an absolutely incredible show.
Yeah, these guys, it seemed like after that stage break, just the heat was turned on, the water started boiling, and all of a sudden these guys were running 3-4 wide for a lot of the race. And we did get a lot of cautions, a lot of breaks, but it allowed for some fun strategy there towards the end. And Kevin Dick was able to capitalize and bring himself back up to second after what may have been seen as a bad strategy call.
Yeah, it was a strategy call that turned around and actually kind of the expression, I guess, stepping in crap and come out smelling like roses. That was it for Andrew Mraz, because this early stop that he had to make allowed him to get the track position back at the stage break with how the cautions fell. And at that point, it was keep the car out front and time your stops accordingly. It really was just an absolutely perfectly executed strategy tonight by Andrew Mraz. I'm really looking forward to seeing what that team can do. Quentin Clark has been really fast since they joined this league. Jim Thorndike is coming along quite nicely. Anthony Hanley has been quick out on the racetrack too. I don't think this is necessarily just going to be Kevin Dick versus Johnny Avila come the fall. We could have a handful of contenders for this championship.
Yeah, it definitely isn't over, and some of these guys, they're starting to get really, really good, get a handle on this car, and we could see some surprise players come out there and possibly come on top for the Grand Championship or even the later Fall Championship.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that in a pretty big way, and we've got one more race coming up this week, well, two, I guess, technically, tomorrow night from Sonoma Raceway, the U.S. Open Wheel doubleheader. I think what's going to be the final doubleheader for the U.S. Open wheel cars. Kind of searching through some community feedback that we've gotten. We'll see if the USF cars are going to be coming back, but definitely the Indy Pro 2000 cars will be coming back for 2023 Season 4 after a 1-week break, which is just absolutely ridiculous. I think the first time in 4 or 5 years that we have not had something on the NRN airwaves. Probably, I guess, about 4 years. Just crazy. But we will be back September 11th with the Silver Crowns kicking off their 2023 Season 4, followed by TNT Shock on Tuesday. Sim Racers Club returns on Wednesday, and then the Open Wheel Cars back on Thursday. 4 straight nights a week of iRacing action here on the National Racing Network, plus the Spec Corvettes, all the other stuff that we're picking up as well. Looking forward to bringing you all this stuff. But now it's time for us to get the heck on out of here. For Patrick Byrne and everybody here at NRN that makes these shows happen, my name is Chris Graham. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we will talk to you all soon. Have a great night, everybody.